Good morning, everybody. Excuse me. Good morning, everybody. Trying a different microphone out this time because yesterday it was very bizarre how the volume came over um, with my condenser mic, which I usually use for my streams, which usually is pretty decent. But I want to try this again because I do know that this Razer headset microphone works very well. Hey, first things first, I want to say good stream last night, and thank you to anybody that stopped out. Voodoo Pickles and Hidden Zone Gaming, thank you for the follows during the stream. And prior to that, I actually had CJS Gaming 931 as well as the Starlight Brigade gave me a follow on a previous day's stream. I think Cyberpunk 2077 is what I was playing. So thank you all for the support and the continued support as you come out and hang out with me in my streams. Maybe come out and start hanging out with me here on YouTube. But good morning, everybody. Hopefully you have a nice hot cup of joe. Successful getting out of bed this morning early. Again, just trying to get back into that habit. I believe, isn't it something like 21 days to build, or 21 days to build a habit, right? Or is it 3 days? 21 days to build a habit. I can't remember. I think it is. Is it true? A popular method is a 2190. Commit to a personal or professional goal for 21 straight days. After 3 weeks, the pursuit of that goal should have become habit. 21 days. So this is day 2 of doing this with you guys in the morning. Fun day today. I have to get through my work day, which I have already started. So we should hopefully see if that goes by quickly. It's a Friday. And then my mother and my sister are on their way into town to stay with us for just about a week, a little less than a week, actually, for my daughter's birthday. She's turning 6 years old. Speaking of daughter, fun news. Last night, she finally, I got her convinced, I guess. I don't know that it wasn't going to be painful or a bad thing, but she let me pull her tooth out. So her very first tooth is out. It was hanging by a thread, but it was starting to get gray looking and black. And I was like, you could tell she couldn't really brush it because she was afraid to touch it or something. So I basically told her, I said, listen, it's got to come out. It's ready to come out, but she was very scared of it. And I kind of took that time to provide a lesson to her. And it's very valid in my life right now. Very, very important and real talk in my life and my wife's life right now. But essentially, what I explained to her was that everybody comes at a point in their life when you have to make a decision, and the decision needs to be for a good thing, right? It needs to be a good decision. I mean, we all make bad decisions in our life. I didn't get down that path with her yet. I figure that'll probably be when she's a little older, or a lot older than where she's at right now. But decisions have to be made. You can't not decide when something needs to happen. When something needs to happen one way or the other, you got to make the decision. And I think this is a good time for her to learn to make a decision. And she did. She took a deep breath, said she was going to be brave. Excuse me for the yawn. And we pulled it right out. It took like 1/100th of a second, and it was out. So I told her it was right there on the edge. So very fun. The Tooth Fairy came and visited her last night, so that was fun. She made a couple dollars. Normally, I think the Tooth Fairy leaves $1, but because it was her first tooth, they left $2. Anyway, last night's stream, The Ascent. Boy, I tell you, that was I could see myself playing that game if I was, bored and by myself and had nothing to do. Let's say it's storming outside. I can't go outside. It's the weekend. I'm not working. Can't do yard work or anything. Yeah, I'd sit down and waste an hour or two playing that game, I guess. However, what I would tell you is it's not that great of a game. In fact, I think I had a lot more fun last night when we switched over to Microsoft Flight Simulator. So I think I'm going to actually start doing more flight sim streams. I know it's multiplayer. I need to learn the game a little bit better. I know there's ways to you can I was watching a stream after I got off yesterday and I was getting ready for bed. I met a new streamer on Twitch. Starflies, I think is her name. But man, they're like real pilots. They're like talking in pilot lingo, and the one of the guys she was flying with is a pilot in real life, and was explaining that he was just days prior actually flying in the area somewhere up in northern Michigan by Traverse City, but was flying in that area in real life. So it's like, oh wow, they're like using all this pilot lingo and talking about windage and angle of, I don't know. And so I had to share to them. I said, wow, this is crazy. You guys are these real pilots, and I just got done like flying for 5 minutes in Iraq, and I felt like a boss, you know. But Flintstone was in the chat last night, and he had spent time in Iraq in military service. So he called out some locales to fly over and stuff. Pretty cool. So yeah, looking forward to doing more of those streams because I don't think I'll be doing any more of the Ascent. Definitely not fun. I'll pick back up on Cyberpunk 2077. And per usual, we'll be doing some Sea of Thieves. I think my boy Sabers is getting a little lonely. I haven't gamed with him in a while, let alone streamed. So we might have to do some of those, or maybe even some. We'll bring Warzone back in. That could definitely be something that we'll be doing. There's a lot of things we can do. I do know that I will no longer be allowed to stream over to YouTube or Facebook. I think I brought that up yesterday. So that's a bummer, but I'm going to still continue to work on what can I clip, what can I highlight and bring over to the channels. There's a lot I really need to do, and there's a lot that I need to find the time to do. And so I think after my daughter's birthday, my mother and my sister will be heading back home, and we'll have some downtime between now and October. October we'll be traveling to North Carolina, which is excited for, very excited for. Staying in a beach house down there in the Outer Banks area. I don't remember what the town's called that it's near. I'm sure I could find out in a click or two. Excited to see it was something I never knew existed until my mother and father mentioned it to me. But apparently, there's wild Mustangs, wild horses that still live out in the Outer Banks, and they just run around and live their life in the ocean spray. I mean, how cool is that? You don't see wild horses anymore, at least not in the East. Though apparently, you do in the East Coast and the Outer Banks, but not where I've ever been, and not where I live now. In fact, you would think you would have a greater chance to see them now in the Great Plains of Nebraska than you would on the Outer Banks, right? But apparently, these horses were descended from feral horses. They're feral now. From domesticated horses that were brought over to the Americas by the Spaniards, and then and English and everybody that had come before. A lot of times, what would happen is they would not want to bring the horses back with them because of the weight or whatever, so they would just let them run free. Over years, these horses thrived, multiplied, and became feral again. Out in on the wilderness, on the Outer Banks and area of North Carolina. So excited to try to see some of those horses while we're there. Um, Definitely going to eat some seafood. Fresh seafood's my thing. When we go to Florida, that's a thing that I have to do on like a daily basis. And so if we're going to be on the coast of North Carolina, you know, by/on the ocean. Yeah, so looking forward to that. Still some fun news to bring up to you. Can't do it just yet. Again, it will be soon though. Again, it kind of goes back to the lesson I was trying to teach my daughter yesterday with her finally beating over her fear of pulling her tooth or getting her tooth out. And just for the record, I would never pull my daughter's tooth if it wasn't ready to come out. But I mean, it was like coming forward, it was like sticking out of her mouth. It was like, um, but back to that lesson, everybody has at some point in their life a lesson to learn, or I'm sorry, a decision to make. Everybody comes. There's multiple crossroads, right, in our lives, and I think they start as little as, 5, 6 years old, right? You have decisions you need to make. Um, sure, when you're a kid, your parents make those decisions for you most of the time, but it's good to learn that decisions have to be made. And again, my wife and I came across a crossroad recently, and we made a decision, and that's going to be very exciting to share. It's going to be very exciting to see where it leads. So, um, more to come on that, of course. And then I have no stream tonight, no stream at all. I do have family in town this weekend, so I won't be streaming much this weekend, but I'll try to maybe squeeze one in on Saturday, late at night, if I can. Um, not sure what we'll play. Maybe fire up the old Nintendo Switch and start up a Breath of the Wild playthrough. That could be fun. Maybe just do some Microsoft Flight Sim. But anyway, in the meantime, I want you guys to all have a wonderful day. Happy Friday. Here's to day 2 of Coffee with Kiko Baloney. We're going to keep doing this and have fun with it. I mean, I know, again, it's just me rambling right now, but I think as we kind of continue down this path, we'll start getting more of a format to follow, and maybe even start to integrate some of our podcast topics into these morning discussions with coffee. So, um, you guys are all special and wonderful. Enjoy life, enjoy your life, and have a wonderful, wonderful Friday. And if you have to go to work, have a good day at work. Keep your chin up. It's always, 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 always can get better. So make that choice, make that decision in your life, and storm forward. Have a great day, guys.